Hello, hello. Welcome back, HRA. This is going to be part 2, the actual race of the stream for anyone watching on YouTube. There is a bit of chaos going on with the servers. That Hammer, ever the wise man, sorting it out with ease. I don't have the chat open quite yet. Just gonna take a Alright. Props to Hammer, because the efficiency of getting this lobby back up has been incredible so far. Alright, and now chat back open. Welcome to the 10 people watching from around the globe. We are just getting things sorted out with the lobby after the restart due to connection issues for some cars. Which now look to be sorted. But a bit of chaos in it. Bit of chaos, eh? All part and parcel of working with EA servers, people. Unfortunately, these things are not a maybe, they are a definite. They will happen every now and then. That's what makes League strong, is their diversity and ability to deal with these issues. And I gotta say, HRA's been lacking in that recently, but this has been a stellar job from Hammer to get this back up and running, and the circus driving around in circles again. Alright. I'm gonna take a second AFK. I'll be back once we are all in and ready to go.
Coming here to the Hungary 96, making it one of the longest running events on the current calendar, until it continues throughout the race. Some might consider it an F1 race.
Alright, we are go. 5 red lights are coming on. They are on now. And 5 red lights are out. And we're underway for take 2 here. For Division 2. Is it the same level of start? No, it's better from A5 heading into turn 1. Good stuff. There's going to be a bit of calamity further back. There always is at Hungary. 3 wide in segments. Bit of contact made up and down the field. For now, Piastri and Andreas side by side. Piastri gets that position. Further back, both horses dueling out. Yellow flags. It's been a tussle between Jackie and Hammer. Out front, A5 already building that gap that he knows he has to build because of his tyre choice. Got a McLaren here slipping up the inside. Death Mage goes wide, nearly making contact with the other McLaren of Massey. And speaking of McLarens, there's one facing the wrong way. Raven in the mud. Raven to win is what he said. Well, he's now got an absolute hell of a task to do just that. Of course, he started at the back, but now he's got his close mate Hammer behind. It's Hughes and Skippy fighting it out. Skippy, I believe, taking that position. Yeah, Raven reverting to early game Raven, who was so against this game that he nearly quit it at some points. But you know what? It's all for the memes. He was just in the presence of the greatness of Death Mage and binned it. That is Piastri taking the position on Swisser then, further up. Starting to get a bit of field spread. Look at that, 2 seconds gap out front in a lap. That is the levels between the tyres. But A5, he has to be careful. Can't sustain too much pace for too long because them softs, the fronts, suffer with a lot of thermal issues. They overheat, which leads to thermal deg, leads to sliding, which leads to more overheating, which quickly you find yourself in a rhythm. But look at the mini-map. Absolute levels. As Andreas, Piastri, Tomboy, Skippy, Hughes, Milanist, Massey and Death Mage all in the same little clump together. And it's getting spicy, especially between the two Haas's here, getting through the last sector. Further up, we see Piastri looking to slide down the inside here. Unable to do so, severely lacking straight line speed. Piastri, it has to be said as well. 3 seconds of gap out front. No side-by-side action as it is. 35 lap race. We've got a long one on our hands. It may get boring at times as well, so strap in, lads. Right now, not much action to report on. Got some close fights up and down the grid. Piastri, Andreas and Swister, the most high profile of these fights. Swister now getting involved and getting onto the back of Glorious as well. Trying to stick with the Williams. Remember my prediction? I remember it actually. A5 Swister Tomboy. It's a long way to go for that to happen. And there's something going to be happening up here between the two, not between the two Williams, between Swister and Glorious. Skippy and Tomboy, that's happening. Skippy moves his car up to 8 plates. There's another move in that. Massey moves up past Milanist into turn 1 as well. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to stay on top of all the moves as well. I've noticed I've been a little behind on that. Yellow flags hammer. It has retired from the session. Full safety car deployed. On this gives A5 a chance to possibly box. Maybe not, but this has really nullified the effect of his softs and might even have hurt his race. I'd go as far as to say. Certainly make things spicy from here. It'll give me some time as well, the safety car, to get my graphics up. Lovely stuff. After 3 laps of the race, Hammer is out of the session. Commiserations to the boss man. Not his day with that incident earlier on with Jackie. Two cars in the pit lane, Death Mage and Raven, spicing it up. What's going on here? There's been some chaos under safety car here. Glorious has spun under safety car and has no left end plate. Third place has spun out. Down to 12th now, and he will need a new front wing on that car. I have to hope we don't go green this lap as well. Not ideal for the Williams, a lack of end plate in that car. Pardon me. So it leaves Edvir open to Swister. Not a good thing for Williams in the grand scheme of things. They're trying to get some decent points hauls on the board, but they just can't break this duct of bad luck. Yes, into the pits as well. Another car, I think Milanist dives into the pit lane as well. New front wing for Glorious, and maybe the same fate for Milanist. No new front wing on that car, just getting rid of the tires he had on, bolting on a set of mediums. Glorious puts on the hards. Race is now up in the air. What happened early on? I'm guessing you just got taken out by Jackie and had a bit of an altercation with the outside curve at turn 1 and just coupled. Ah, nice. Well, at least you can, yeah, that's alright. Yeah, it happens. Oof. Yeah, at least you can kick back, relax, and enjoy the action if there is any. Of course, it being Hungary. I don't know. Safety car in this lap. I'll try my best as well from my end, but I'm so tired right now. I'm getting to the level of actively having to sort of hold my eyes open. About 4 hours sleep last night and 5 hours the night before don't do you much good. But yeah, we've got racing action. A5 pins it out the last corner. And gets going down the line. So into turn 1 then. Still out front is A5. Further back there's a bit of a fight. Skippy is right up on the back of Piastri on the soft tyre, looking to make the most of their last breath of life. All settled down here as they're waiting for DRS to be enabled to add some spice into the mix. We will have the difference of setup though, which is quite crucial at this track. Some people favouring the higher downforce to help them through the corners, help manage their tyre temperatures, and others favouring the straight line speed. And you might not think it's much of a difference, but boy, them two setups make a huge difference here. Low and medium downforces. Hughes using the rear end to rotate to incredible effect there. Close to the limit, the Haas there. As he looks to move up to P7. Tombloy predicted to come third in this race. Currently not living up to that. Raven and Deathmage fighting out further back. Raven gets up past Deathmage, no moves further up, although saying that, Massey is all over the back of Hughes. That's sort of calmed down a little bit as they're out of the slipstream now. Deathmage gets a 3 seconds for multiple warnings and has been passed by Raven, who looks to continue the charge here. Of course, a winner on this game around this track. He knows what it feels like. He knows what it takes. As against a similar level of talent on the grid, it has to be said. A dominant driver in that season. in Spoonie and a dominant driver in this one of A5, who he has to surpass. A5's always been thereabouts, but this season has had a real coming of age. He's hooked it all together, as this is Raven all over the back of Jackie. In the distance we can see his teammate Massey giving the same treatment to Hughes. Tom Boyd as well, same thing with Skippy, and as well Andreas and Swister getting very, very tight there for third place. Swister looking to take a podium here, but he's still got a good 27 or so laps. Yeah, there's Div 2, there is always the dominant force, but the championship fights below that are quite fun to watch. As here comes Raven down the inside of Jackie at turn 1. Space is left. They go side by side on the exit the corner. No, Jackie defends incredibly well. Yeah, it's a shame I didn't really get to commentate much on Div 1 or 2 last season, because I had my issues, which thankfully are sorted now. You know, having the stress of not having a car and just sinking more and more money into the whole, not ideal. We're still digging our way out, but I'm back on my feet enough to do this. It's side by side they go. Oh, hey, Jackie was not a big fan of that. Contact made, and up goes Milanist, up goes Glorious. Jackie backing off the pace here. That contact at I think I am yet to score a point as well, I want to say. I did 2 races in Div 1, start of season before last. First round I had wheel disconnect issues. Second round I had wheel disconnect issues after putting it on pole. Jackie into the pits. I'm going to try a spicy strategy here, or bite the bullet. Death Major Milan is fighting it out. Yeah. Gotta be honest, in my last ever league race, I did have the elation of sticking it on pole. I also had the downer while warming my tyres up on the safety car leading the race. My wheel died. Yeah, strong race being driven by Edvir. Really strong race. Qualified there and is racing there as well. Spotted by Big in chat. Yeah, apologies again to anyone just joining in for the spacey commentary. Your boy tired. Like really tired. So it's more trying to stay awake game. So if you hear oh no. Or as I should say, oh no, Nicholas Latifi. Ah. Bad flashbacks. This Raven looking at the inside of Hughes, unable to do anything there. Matty gets a time penalty as well. Himself and Death Mage the only ones to have penalties so far. Raven into nice fights here, having some fun in his attempts to climb his way up the grid. He might become a factor later on in this race. Hey, I'd still be mad. I've lost championships on F1 2019 and I'm still mad about it, mate. Granted, it was all my fault. For a rundown, all I had to do was finish, I think, top 5, and in quali I was provisional pole and I peppered it. Next in the pits, that was ill. I forgot while you're in the exit pits animation you can't pause, so I paused to like change the music or something, changeable audio settings. This is Raven down the inside of Hughes, makes him go a little bit defensive, take a tighter line. Hughes' teammate into the pits. That tighter line allows Raven to get a small switchback effect, not much, but you can see it down the straight as Hughes just has too much straight line speed for Raven here. strong fight, these two. Having an out front, you can see. Even with the old tyres, A5. Oh dear, Raven, naughty, naughty boy. Deep on the brakes, and a murder has just occurred. That's, oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, there's no left end plate on that Haas. Oh dear, Raven. Oh no. That was an absolute stinker, lad. Murder has just occurred, and you are all witnesses. Let's hope the McLaren of Massey won't repeat it on Tomboy. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, come on, this ain't NASCAR, lad. You can't bump people mid-corner and go, yeah, just he was checking me up on the apex of the corner. It's no. Please ignore that accent ever happened. Here comes Massey. Passing clean. Unlike someone else. Raven. Oh, what the? There's more Irish. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. You know your accent's bad when you're going for like middle Texas area, sort of like woohoo, Dale Earnhardt, that sort of shit, you know. Sorry for the swear. I'm trying not to swear. I know I've been told it's alright. I'm trying not to. that sort of thing, but yeah, Irish, that's a now. Oh dear. At least you can call me well. Sorry. Again, 21 people. Into pits comes Andreas. Twisters as well, then past. Oh, thank you. By Piastri. In that fight then, he'll look to hold on to the podium place, but he has a 3-second time penalty already to contend with. And a Piastri who is on an absolute mission. So I believe it's Racing Bulls, or AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso's launch. Because, once again, I won't be calling them Racing Bulls. I'm sorry. Visa Cash App RB, or VCARB as they want them to be called on air, is a no. Because then he'll be the driver to dominate. There is pace there, Fig, to be fair. I remember your debut in Div 2 or Div 1. You nearly bagged a podium at Suzuka before some late race misfortune. So as you know, there is genuinely, I know you might be joking, but we've got some time in the stream. It's going to be a boring one. There is pace there. Just got to sort out racecraft as Piastri moves up ahead of Edvir. There we go. Just got to sort a little bit of racecraft issues out. Make the lap times more consistent. Put in a bit more practice at every track in racing scenarios. So load up and not a single player race rather than doing time trial. And do that instead to practice for consistency. Maybe a bit of setup work. A couple little things here and there. That's all it takes, because if you got the pace and it's not hooked up and you've got the consistency, then you know it's something to do with the setups you're using. We'll do some digging. Yeah. It was wet, I remember as well, I believe. But that's promise. You got pace, but yeah. You got pace. You've just got to hook it up. And I had it hooked up before, granted, as switched the diving edge, dived into the pit, sorry. It's not necessarily about driving decent races. You'll have that one breakaway race where you're on it, absolutely incredible. And after that, you feel like something's different. But I hadn't raced go-karts in a while. Last Wednesday, which is why I wasn't here. We've got some time, so I'll if I can explain it. It went incredible. I gotta say, new race league at my local track. Yeah, it's an open league. It's going to be morning for Millenist and Glorious. But it was an open league, yes. There were still some incredibly high standard races there. And I made mates with someone who said it was saying that one of them's only ever made the A final once and they came last or something like that. Out of the C final, the B final, the Super B, and the A final. And I made, and yeah, one of them who said he finished last in the A, and that was their best achievement. The first heat, I turned up late, got 2 laps in quali, still stuck at P10. Day 5's into the pits, the leader pits then. As to the inside goes Milanis on Tomboy, who will look for the switchback. There's a little bit of argy-bargy at turn 1. Glorious gets distracted by it, but Milanis is up ahead now. Yeah, mate. N-Transit, genuinely, if you're ever popping down to Lakeside, pop me a DM, man. Got to meet up so I can have some validation and slap someone IRL. No, I'm kidding. But, or just turn up to the race league, man. I believe it's last Wednesday of every month. It's incredibly popular, so yeah. Big saying it, the problem of never being potential for the title because I miss some races and have mentality to overtake. That's just it happens. You've got to have the bad experiences, the bad racing, to have the good. You know, that race at Lakeside for me may have gone incredible, but I mean, I didn't walk away with any silverware. I walked away with a heat win in Heat 2 from reverse group pole because I started 10th in Heat 1, got binned out but recovered to P10 and set the fastest lap in that race. It's Glorious goes up ahead of Tomboy then. Will this continue? I'll just quickly go away from the waffling because these two still side by side. That settles down. There's another one going on here. Skipping Death Mage, fighting it out, scrapping away. Death Mage to the inside. Death Mage, another driver showing decent promise, but stuff like that happens quite often. A little bit of wheel banging, a little bit of argy-bargy. Forced off the track there. There was space, but not the confidence. Yeah, Pickle saying, yeah, I've noticed a stupid overtake. Yeah, it's horrible to be stuck in that mentality of just, you make a move, sort of like the Perez mid to late season 23 mentality. You know you've got the car, you know you've got the talent, you just can't. It's not there. Off spell, yeah, but sometimes it feels like more than an off spell and you can't shake it. You literally, not to sound preachy and #blessed as I call it, but you just got to keep your head down and just keep grinding because eventually you'll have that good race, and after that, the confidence. Just going into my karting, last time I was in a go-kart, that's a lie. I did a day after it, a 2-day weekend. The first day, the second day didn't really happen because I had technical issues all day. So the last time I was actively able to race in go-karting, I had a chance of getting a win in Club 2000, which is my local owner driver, so 2-stroke Rotax go-karting, had a chance to take a win, and there was a collision at turn 2. Think of it as an opposite version of China turn 1, right? China 1, 2, that section, the first couple corners, and heading out of calling it an opposite, so it's a long left-hander instead of right, into a closing left into a sort of 110-degree right hairpin thing. At the exit of the right hairpin thing, there's a collision. I went right a bit, and I felt a bump on the front. I knew there was an almighty platter, but I was in the lead. I looked behind me, and no one made it through. No one. And I turned into the next corner, something completely unrelated to the track layout. It's a little flick left before a hairpin, and the kart just went straight on, barely gripped. I looked down and my steering is bent. And that was the last experience I had of racing, as this is some racing here. Swister, argy barging his way past Andreas. And that genuinely, that's one of those where you might have it in game every now and then, but that's not to sugarcoat it, but that's probably about the only time I've ever been depressed over go-karting, or in general, was over that. And it was just a mental low, you know. But I turned up late for quali. I didn't have time. Maybe it's just Raven retires here. Yellow flags for safety car. And maybe it's just that mindset of getting in your own head. Maybe just do a bit of practice a couple of days before. Turn up and race. Yes, that's what I go-kart at. Outdoor. Never done indoor. Never done electric. I get the appeal, but for me, like, karting in the wet, it's a dream, honestly. That's where I got recruited to this race league. I got given an offer price of like £30 instead of 45 for the races. We'll see a lot of cars into the pits here, as this really does spice up the strategy and throws a spanner in the works. We could have a different winners here, so this might be the last waffling we get today before some spice. But that's where I got recruited. I went on a Friday and a Sunday. And the Friday, I went just me out on track, absolutely freezing, ice on the shadowed bit of the tracks. Intrinsic or not, I'm talking about heading towards the drop on the left-hand side by the bushes. There was ice on the left half of the track, and it was that cold you could barely feel your hands. But they said my times are really strong, and before I turned up for the next session, they invited me to the league. They said, "Your pace is good." I'm like, yeah. Started raining, and I'm mid-pack at best in most leagues. In this one, I came 4th overall in the A final, top final out of 4 finals. I came 5th on track, 4th in class. Could have been 3rd in class, but yeah, I carked it. Poor race management from me. Wow. Yeah. Mine and Intrinsic's local is called Lakeside Karting. Literally 5-minute drive away from where I work. Lakeside is very technical as well. If you watch some onboards of it, my goodness. There's a flat out section, you know. Turn 1 is flat out. Not turn 1. You've got the first sector is twisty, sort of Suzuka S's. You have to be bang on the line. Yes, this one's got a lot of curbs as well, R1. You have to ride them to be quick. This one's got twisty section into 2 hairpins, and you've got a flat out section where you can reach upwards of 50 mile an hour down a big drop. I'm talking maybe a 7-foot drop. And outdoor karting, a downhill hill is rare, very rare for that elevation. And then you've got, at the end of Devil's Drop, you've got a long right-hander where you just dab the brakes. Really nice corner, especially when you've got a nice handling kart. But I have Ella Park, ELA OUGH Park Raceway. They have bank corners now. Currently not allowed to use them because the British karting, like the insurers and the I forget what they're called, but the United Kingdom Karting Club, the sort of go-to regulators won't regulate it. But they did it first, and then they said, hang on a minute, this ain't right, this ain't right. So they're doing some more innovations, but there is a bank corner, and it's incredible. Bank corners in go-karts. And they had an owner-driver weekend there as well, before, like a couple weeks before they were told they couldn't use the layout. And I can just imagine two-stroke go-kart going in, entering that corner at 60 mile an hour. My God. You get a snap of oversteer, mate. You are not just in the barrier at the up top, you're flying in the air, sort of. Yeah, not ideal. Alright, we got a race on our hands now. So let's get back to the action, shall we? As Piastri sets off into the distance, then he now has a chance of taking home the win here because A5 back in 7th. Massey and Swister, the two cars that are out of place here. Although Swister had some decent pace. We've got Milanis behind, we've got Glorious, Tomboy, but A5, championship leader, out front right now, but his lead in the championship may be closed down quite bad here if he can't take away a decent haul of points. Remember, 25 points is lead at the top, so if he makes a couple of mistakes and slips out the points and Piastri gets past his lap, Piastri can take the lead of the championship. And what was looking just 2 rounds ago, the end of round 3, to be a dominant season, will be back in play. Piastri got lucky here. The big thing in racing is luck, but it's also seizing the opportunities in front of you. A5 has to be careful not to kill his tyres here. You'll know they degrade incredibly quickly. Skippy as well is a factor in that fight. He's got some decent pace. Of course, nearly couldn't race because of his connection, but yeah. Fastest as well. He's got to pull away into the distance here because Massey and Twister will be hanging on for dear life. A5 as well. To be fair, all he has to do is stay within 3 seconds of the fight for P2 and he'll find himself up. Once again, I've not said it so far, but apologies for the lack of quality on the stream. I've had to lower it down to 480p because I've had a lot of connection inconsistencies, and it seems like the more I demand of the Wi-Fi, the more it will just randomly die. Ooh, made us think for a second then, A5. He's all over the back of Tomboy but he's bullying his tyres, so he's got to be careful not to overheat them. Andreas is also with this fight. Death Mage may be at some point in the not too distant future. A5 will be frustrated where he is now as well, has to be said. Yeah. Both top 2 division Red Bull drivers suffering from COVID. As to the inside he goes, that's one hell of a worldy dive bomb. Gives the old argy-bargy to Tomboy, but assuming we're running off the side-by-side regulations that real F1 uses, that was clean as a whistle, as far as the FIA view it. And now Tomboy will have to go on the defensive because there is an offensive Haas behind. Unable to do anything though. A5 now sets his sights on Glorious. 10 laps to pull off this recovery. See how high he can make it up here. Yo, it's N saying Alpine on top, and then Illuminati in transit. Yeah, I was being real about that though in transit. If you're ever going down to Lakeside, man, let me know. Or give me the deets. I'll pop down and say hello. You'll be able to tell it's me because I'm yellow glasses, messy blonde hair, and I look like a traffic cone out on track with all the orange shit I wear. Funny that I started turning up to karting tracks. I was I was the first to turn up everywhere I went in orange gear, and now it seems like everyone and his mother, and everyone and their mother, I should say, because there are some female drivers out there who are quite quick as well. They all wear orange gear. Ah, I'm guessing you were the AlphaTauri driver. Or in transit. Not in transit. No, ended. Yes. I said that as it popped up in chat. Yeah, Jaded and someone else were in the chat as well. And I gotta say, they were going absolutely ballistic, mate. They were so invested in the fight. Thank you as well for the compliment. And to fire one back at you, thank you for the battle. That was incredible. That had me chuckling. You can hear me like breaking down in laughter because it's stuff like that makes you fall in love with racing all over again. Fights like that. And once again, if any of you hate watch that fighters, it's banner in the works. Massey to the front. Piastri unable to do anything about it. Okay. Massey taking advantage of this. Yellow flags further back, it's a car dropping down the field. It's glorious. It's a shame here for Edveer as well. He's really lost out because the safety car is running third before it, and he's fallen down. So Matty now will be feeling some pressure. You might say, that's a bit odd, feel pressure. That gap's gone up by 3, now 4 tenths since he passed. Little things like that. Piastri will be feeling happy as that's not good for Massey's race. We are now going to ditch the tyre graphic. Screw that. We want to know penalties, and that's not ideal for Massey in the slightest. Oh dear. 6 seconds of penalties. As it stands, all A5 has to do is pass Mill in this, and he is in prime position. Look at the closing speed as well. Beautiful stuff. As Edveer gets past his teammate up in the P10. See, this is the horrible luck that Williams seems to be striking lately. Started second and third, now running 9th and 8th. No, 9th and 10th, sorry, my bad. Just can't escape it. Weird, because the last seasons of F1 22, they were utterly dominant in Division 2. It seems like all their drivers moved up and then moved on. Likes of Dom, who I haven't seen around here in a while. It's a real shame, because back these days in his Hypes era, I think was his golden era. He copied name-wise and username-wise, he copied the likes of Otis Lawrence and all that, who have their username as their name. But like for me, my username Apollo, for a bit of backstory, I was racing at this very track when I first used it, and I was using my old username at this very track before it, and I was like, it ain't. My username was XNinSassinX, and I changed it for a bit to Sukaman Bing, which translated to bitch boy in Russian, because I was tired as hell and thought, this will be funny. Google Translate bitch boy in Russian. There we go. And I thought, I want something that's intimidating that I'll enjoy. And honestly, Apollo came to my Greek gods. I was like, ain't much. I know it's god of literature or whatever, but A5's also defending here from or attacking Milanis. I thought, yeah, I know he's a god of literature and writing or whatever, but I think Apollo, a literal rocket ship, for me it made sense. Not seen anyone in the league racing community be called Apollo, so I'm happy with it. At the end of the day, it's what you feel comfortable running. And it's nice just to be not Nin Sassin or Superman Bing, just Apollo. Meet new people, it's just Apollo. It's weird though, if someone says it IRL, I'm like, huh? As here comes A5, moving into this position, puts him up as it stands. Oh, he's not got the position yet. Steaming clean around the outside though. Beautiful recovery on that position. But he's still side by side with Millen. This is incredible battle here. Side by side still. The Red Bull unable to pass, makes contact with the, oh dear, they're crashing. Oh my goodness me. That is Millenist in the wall. An A5. How has he got away with that? Full safety car deployed. Front wing in the mud. That is big for championship. This will not be one he walks away from being happy. He found himself on the back foot. Bad luck for Milanist. His race has been wrecked and there'll be penalties. There will be penalties for A5. I know I've been trying not to assume penalties are happening, but he got the better exit, made a little bit of contact on exit, and before he knew it, one of them was facing the wall and was T-boning someone. Drive through for Jackie as well. Oh, that is very opportunistic. Skippy gets the time penalty for speeding in the pits. Unable to do anything there though. This is not good though in terms of standings, because A5 is now out of the points paying positions. And he may, well, he will get, as Deathmage gets a drive through as well. So 2 drive-throughs in the field. Everything spiced up here. Lap 31 of 35. This race just got a whole lot interesting. Penalties graphic we'll have disabled because we need to know what tyres people are on. Jackie and Tomboy have gambled here. They both got penalties. Piastri has not. And for being a chill, relaxed stream, just laps to go. Things now get intense. Got a lot of things on the line. Milanist and Glorious. They qualified higher. They had pace to be higher. And they both tumbled down there. Glorious just fallen down there because of bad luck through strategies. Excuse me. Another yawn on the board. Milanist taken out by A5, who has himself a point to prove, as does Edvir. Decent pace for Edvir. Running second for most of the race before he got overtaken by Piastri. And then still running third. Strategy screwed him over. Swiss has got pace as well. Massey's got pace. Piastri, first of the fresh soft runners. And Jackie and Tomboy looking to try and stay out and conserve, but one of them is into the pits. Tomboy is left out to his own devices now. Indeed, good observation from Fig. A lot of drivers with penalties out front. It's going to get very interesting here with Jackie all the way to the back. I think he's got a couple penalties on the board. So we know the tyres now. Back to the penalty graphic. Tomboy the only one running soft tyres. Defamation Jackie as well have drive-throughs. But if there's chaos, they can still recover some points here, which will be quite crucial. Michael Massey, safety car. I love that the game gives people drive-throughs in VRC periods, but just to clarify that, it might not have sounded sarcastic because I'm tired of shit. But I don't think it should. I think it should give the game an option to log it and a penalty be applied post-race, because a drive-through for slightly speeding is ridiculous. Fig saying the Michael Massey safety car, causing it kind of ironic. We will have 33, 34 and 35 to race. DRS will be enabled for one lap this race at the very, very end. ERS conservation will come into it, because 2 laps you can go all out, overtake 3. You'll be out by the last lap. With DRS, if someone saves their overtake, which you can't pass very easily, so you've got bully overtake, so if someone saves it, they can go all out. Someone into the pits there, Death Mage, looking to serve his safety car. Yeah, looking to serve his drive-through. But here we go then. This is going to get intense. A5 already to the inside of Edvir, looking to make up the place. He's gone deep on the brakes, contact with Edvir there. As all contact, that's Glorious spinning Hughes in there. Absolute chaos and carnage. Millen gets out of it. Now side by side with Glorious, who's just made contact with another driver. They both get it through there all cleanly. He's got a teammate behind him, but his teammate has a drive-through. Death Mage forgetting that it's not the end of the safety car. The safety car, as long as it's ahead of you on track, even if it's come in already, you cannot serve that drive-through. And so he is up at the back. Massey's had a spin in there as well. What's happened to him? He must have got binned out somewhere. Piastri's already taken to the front. Twister will look to do so here as well, as they head towards the last sector split. Down the inside goes Twister, unable to do something. You can see the Haas with Skippy in the background going for it. Twister and Tomboy side by side. Twister clean round the outside. Now will look to bolt and use Tomboy as a bit of a blocker here, as Andreas looks to get the run of dreams down this main straight. He can sniff the podium. He hasn't had one in a long time in Division 2. To the inside goes Andreas on Tomboy, who is fading and struggling with 10 lap older tyres on that Mercedes. Yellow flags as Massey retires in the pits. Yellow flags further back as there's a Red Bull off. It's A5 is off. Hughes retires from the session as well. So Jackie will still get points on the board here, as Skippy gets past Tomboy as well, who's plummeting down the field. And this is really, really not helping Twister in his attempt to bag podium here. We're going to switch the gap to leader interval here and see if I can work with that, as that'll make calculating things a lot nicer. Twister's already 4 seconds off the leader. He needs a 3-second gap to Skippy, and he needs a 6-second gap to Andreas, as that's side by side here. Look at that, round the outside. Glorious. What a glorious move from Glorious Striker. Kicks it out the park and is up to P5, making a strong recovery here. Tomboy down to P6 already. Tumbling is the best way to describe it. A5's had an incident in there as well, so if there are any post-race penalties, he will not really get any time lost from them. As to the inside goes Milanis on Tomboy. Edvir will be up next to pass the floundering Mercedes on the last lap of the race. Red light is flashing for Tomboy. Poor ERS management. Edvir's not used enough of it. 50% is the max we can use in a lap at most tracks. As A5 looks to recover here and console. Swister currently has fastest lap as well. If Piastri can snag that here, he will be joint top of the championship. Not joint top, sorry. Yeah, he will be close to the top of the championship. Tomboy in a wall. A5 gets promoted to P8 then. 4 points on the board for A5 here. And if Tomboy can just try and finish here ahead of Jackie. Sorry for missing it. Piastri takes the checker flag and wins his first race of the season then. Championship fight well and truly on. Andreas second. Swister. Does he hold third? Yes, he does. 2 incredible podium finishers. Piastri, Andreas and Swister. What an incredible race. Milanis, after getting killed out of a possible top 5, comes P4. What a recovery drive from the Alfa Romeo. He will be chuffed with that. Skippy P5, Flores P6, Edvir P7, A5 recovers to P8 after the drama and saves himself the embarrassment of losing out. But his championship lead has been sliced down massively to just 4 points. We have our third different winner of the season. Once again, apologies for the lack of awareness in commentary. Your boy tired. I've said it a couple of times, but say again. I'm tired, man. But I'm not tired of this action and this racing from Division 2. What an incredible end to the race there. And through all of it, Piastri took advantage of the chaos, ran his own race, adapted to the strategy. Got a little lucky here and there, but it don't matter because he's standing on the top step. That's all he'll care about. It's Alpine back on top. Yeah, see you next week too. Thanks for the compliments. So, confirmation then. Piastri takes the win. Andreas second. Swister, despite 6 seconds of penalties, takes third with the fastest laps of 16 points on the board for Swister. A5 getting just 4 points on the board, but he still holds the championship lead by 4 points. So it's all up in the air coming into the future races. This is one hell of a championship fight that we have on our hands. It looked out of the question just two races ago. But in the past few races, we have had a 28-point swing in the past 2 races. Sorry, just had to fill while I did the maths here. Yeah, 28-point swing in the last 2 races going Piastri's way. And it just puts him just 4 points off A5. Red Bull have cracks in their armour that they need to be looking to patch up. Well, they keep fighting, or will it crumble to pieces? Stick around with us to find out. Because in a week's time, we'll see. It's clear A5's been the better driver so far. Abu Dhabi is next. And heading into that, Piastri will feel it's on. Championship now very much alive. I leave you with the stats of a couple of weeks ago. I said, can anyone beat Red Bull and A5? It's looking like they're closing in to that. But there is still 7 races to go. 7 races for it to swing either way. Until then, I will see you next week for Division 2. And I'll see you Friday for Division 1. Peace.